outstanding. I can't say enough about them. They were very noticeable in the game. As far as the game goes, it was the turnovers obviously hurt us in the football game. We gave up some points on those as well. But let me back up. I first want to compliment CJ and his staff. I know them very well. CJ, obviously, all aware of that, but they did an outstanding job. When we played them 2 weeks ago, matter of fact, it was easy to see that was a team that was really improving. And I thought that they had a great chance to beat DC, which they did a week ago. And then they came in here and they beat us today. So that's a real credit to CJ and his staff. They've done a great job. They finished the year strong. They're 5-5. I'm sure they feel great about it, and they ought to, because they've done a great job. And there's a lot of parity in our league, and that was a great example of it, in my opinion. So I'm really happy for them. Congratulate them. If I had to lose somebody, I don't mind losing CJ, but if I had to, I didn't say I wanted to. But nonetheless, that's that. Getting back to us in the game, what I reflect on, I would say, is it took us a while to get going on D. When we did, we really did a good job in the fourth quarter. I was really pleased with that, to see that we had some fourth down stop early in the game, but then we had some third down stops in the second half that were big. We've had a real problem on third down, and to get off the field was key. At the end there, where we had to challenge them to get off the field, our guys responded and did a great job. So I'm really proud of the defense in those situations. They gave us the opportunity to get the ball back and have a chance to win the game. So that was good. On the offensive side, I thought we ran the ball extremely well at the end there. I thought that Nate was doing a great job pounding the ball. Then but Matt Coburn got the touchdown on the run. Some really good things were happening. It's just unfortunate we came up short. But as is the case in most of our games, they come down to the very end. And so they're exciting. And obviously we always want to be on the winning side, but it is exciting. So outside of that, a little bit the kicking game. I thought we did some good things in the kicking game. They tried a couple of things, obviously in the fake the one time. I was pleased to see that we responded well on that. Outside of that, any questions?
Start with James, and we'll come up front here.
All right, James.
Coach, you lost a turnover battle today, 4-0. A couple of close ones on your end, just couldn't grab the picks. Thoughts on just what went wrong in that category today?
In the turnovers?
In the turnover battle, yeah.
When they're interceptions, obviously you can put the blame. It really comes down to, without me watching the film, all I'll say is if it's an interception, obviously there's two key players involved in it. That's the person he's throwing the ball to and the quarterback. And it's not always the quarterback's fault, because sometimes it's wrong route, things like that. But without, in order to be accurate, I obviously don't want to be, I don't want to put blame where it doesn't belong. But turning the ball over obviously costs you a lot. It's hard to win a football game, as we all well know, if you lose a turnover battle, because it's just possessions. And the more possessions you give up, the less chance you have to win the game. Now, our fourth down stop, we put that in that category, which was a good turnover for us. It doesn't go down in the, as that on the stat sheet, but that is a turnover for us. So, but again, without seeing the film, I think it's unfair to really break it down. Yes.
Coach, Mike Mueller, BCP Plus. Given that there wasn't too much on the line with this game as far as stakes go, I was just wondering, what were some of your goals for this game, and what were you hoping to see out of some of the players, and did you see it?
Look, we had the same situation a year ago as we did this year. We clinched the playoff spot a couple weeks early, and we talked a lot about what we play for, why we play, and things like that. Because once you do clinch that berth, because that's one of the things you play for, there's other things you play for as well. And I thought we, like I said, I thought we competed well today. But we made some mistakes along the way. That's not a lack of being, competitiveness. That's just a lack of doing your job, I guess. Not much else to say on that.
Sure. And then, real quick, just is there any worry about the team losing a little bit of momentum going into the playoffs? But now they're on a 2-game scale.
That's a great question, because I can't answer it. I don't know. We started the season with the goal of winning a championship. In order to do that, we all realized we had to make the playoffs. We made the playoffs 2 weeks ago, so we had 2 weeks between now and then. Do I think it, slows down momentum, things like that? I really don't know. I don't think so with this group, to be perfectly honest with you. No, I don't think so. I expect us to come out next week and play like champions. I really do, and I think we will. And not that we didn't today, but we made a lot of mistakes along the way. I mean, that effort was good, but the execution was certainly not a championship execution when you're 4 turnovers, for example, and those things. So, that's what I would say, and I'd stand by that for as far as our team goes. It's a good group. We're a good team. We just have to eliminate the mistakes and we have every right to win.
Time for a couple more questions. Go to Mike.
Hey Coach, Mike Palmer from the Bottom Line Podcast. With the game coming up too, obviously we know it's at stake. Has the clock hit 0 to reset, focus on Birmingham, or how much time for this game do you go back and watch the film and make corrections, or is this week going to be right from now till championship kickoff, focus on Birmingham?
Everyone will probably watch the film, players and coaches alike. We won't meet on this game. We'll go right into Birmingham because that's what's left. And like I said, we've accomplished our goal for the season. It's to play Birmingham. It's not to whatever was in the past was in the past. Look, if it took a 4-6, not a 6-4 record to go to the playoffs, we'd have taken 4-6. As a matter of fact, 3 years ago, that's what we did. So we've got this one game coming up, and that's where our focus will be on. Like I said, I think a lot of the guys will look at, because everybody likes to watch themselves play, and the coaches like to see their players play and see how they did, so they can help them out a little bit. But we won't meet on it per se, and and go dissect it like we typically do, because it's time to get ready for Birmingham.
Couple more.
Coach Dave McDonald, the Pitt Media. Your 2 leading receivers this season, Mariner and Turner, went 1 for 7 for 1 yard today. How do you recalibrate and get the most out of your playmakers going into the playoffs?
Yeah, well, that's the first I heard. I didn't know that, but I think that as far as recalibrate and getting back, I don't think we've lost any momentum per se by this game. They're going to be well prepared and they'll be focused. I do not think that this game will affect them. In particular, those 2 guys. They're both very professional about their jobs. I would count on them next week to be productive.
Two more.
Hi, Coach. Harrison Steinhoff, the Michigan Journal, University of Michigan Dearborn student newspaper. One thing that really raises a lot of questions is Bryce Perkins. He was a full participant on Thursday after coming back from an ankle injury. He almost leads the league in percentage at 68.9%, and he leads the league in average yards per throw at 8.5. There's a lot of efficiency there, and it kind of creates a story of 2 different teams considering how the quarterbacks threw today. Can you speak to what the game plan is moving forward? Is he number 1 on Monday? Is he getting the most focus?
I can't tell you 100% sure that he'll be number 1 on Monday, but it's our expectation by the end of the week that yes, he'll be playing against Birmingham to start the game. That's our expectation. The week's practice will let us know what that is. We certainly won't play a player that's injured or hurt, but he's gotten progressively better. And so, like I said, that would be our expectations right now, a week away. So we'll see how that fares during the week. But he has proven to be the starter, and he's done well when he's been it. So that's where we're at with it.
We'll wrap with Coach with Tony in front.
Just following up really quick, could he have possibly gone today, or was that a precaution thing?
It's a little bit of both. I really can't answer honestly. I would say, well, I really don't know. It's a question for him. It really is, because we talked about it, and it was going to be his decision as far as whether he would go or not. But I think he also sees that next week's what we've, look, the entire, as I said a little while ago, you get into the season, you have goals, and those goals have been accomplished. And this game was not going to affect what the goal was next week, and especially with a key position, key player as he is. The smart thing today was to do what we did, because it wouldn't have made any difference for next week's game, which is why they're all playing, because they wanted that additional game. They got it, and then that obviously. So we'll do everything we can that Bryce is the guy this week. Like I said, that's our expectation currently.
And then lastly, 16,000 fans today.
Yeah.
biggest crowd, I think, even going back to the NFL days. Being the last home game, just what have you made of the fan support this year? Have you seen a little bit of momentum from last year? Kind of how you assess the support you guys got this year?
I thought we really did. I thought it did progress during the season. Naturally, we were playing well, and so obviously the fans, were into that as well. Unfortunate today that we lost, obviously, but I think it's the combination of them coming out and also seeing a good product. But they have progressively gotten better all through the year. There's no question. I even saw it each week. And then today when I went out there, it was noticeable. I was really curious what it was, when I was on the field kind of looking, because usually it's one side, like our side has most of the people. The other side is kind of sparse, but it looked pretty good. So, but I think, I shouldn't say I think, but I'm hopeful going forward that that's what continues. But I also know that part of it has to do with us continuing to be a good football team and perform well as well. I think we were 3-2 at home. We lost our first home game and our last home game this season. We won the 3 in the middle. We'd love to be a team that's 5-0 at home on a 10-game schedule, and that's certainly our goal all the time. This game was a little bit different because of the situation, but nonetheless, it was great to have them out there. Like I said, I think they gave our guys a lot of juice, and
Thank you. Thanks, Coach.
well, good. Okay, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.